Hi everyone. Hope you all are good. We are here for grade 10 math. You can find all the lessons on aplusstudents.com. You have to log in there using your email address and password as provided by the administrator. Then you have to select math from the subject tab. Scroll down to grade 10 and then click on view all lessons. There you can find a list of the chapters. We're going to start with the chapter logic. And the lessons we're going to cover today are converses, inverses and contrapositives, biconditionals, truth tables and truth values. So let's just start with the first lesson, that is converses, inverses and contrapositive. Here I'm on grade 10 math. The chapter we're working on is logic. And the lessons we're going to start with is converses, inverses and contrapositive. So let's just start with the first lesson. What is the converse of the following statement? If brain is going grocery shopping for dinner, he is not going to buy gumdrops. So to find the converse of the given conditional, switch the order of the hypothesis and conclusion, right? If the brain is going grocery shopping for dinner, then he is not going to buy gumdrops, right? So it is, if brain is not going to buy gumdrops, he is doing grocery shopping for dinner, right? You have to convert the if part to then part. Basically, you have to interchange the if and then part, right? Make the then part as if and then make the if part as then, right? The other example is, look at the following conditional. If Jennifer does not need a basin, then she's not going to take music lessons, right? You have to, if the Jennifer is going to take music lessons, then she needs a basin. Is the second conditional the converse, inverse, or contrapositive of the first conditional? Basically, you have to see, is this inverse, converse, or contrapositive, right? Notice that if you take the first conditional and switch the order of hypothesis and conclusion and negate them both, you will get the second conditional, right? If Jennifer does not need a basin, then she's not going to take music lessons. If Jennifer is going to take music lessons, then she needs a basin. Since the hypothesis and conclusions are switched and negated, the second conditional is contrapositive of the first because both of them are the negations of the first one, right? So they are the contrapositives, right? Look at the following conditionals. If Anita is near Fulton Street, then she is at the home. If Anita is at home, then she is near the Fulton Street. Is the second conditional the inverse, contrapositive, or converse of the first conditional? If Anita is at home, then she is near Fulton Street. Basically, the hypothesis and conclusions are switched, right? The second conditional is the converse of the first conditional, that is the converse. Let's just start with the test questions. Okay, look at the following conditionals. If Anita is near the Fulton Street, then she is at the home. If Anita is at the home, then she is near Fulton Street. If the second conditional is the second conditional inverse, converse, or contrapositive of the first conditional, which is the correct option? That is the converse of the first one, right? The correct option is converse. What is the converse of the following conditional? If Brain is going grocery shopping for dinner, then she is not going to buy gumdrops, right? You have to write down the converse of the following conditional. So when we have to write down the converse, we have to switch the conditional part to the options given are if brain is going grocery shopping for dinner, then he is not going to buy gumdrops. The second one is if Brain is not going to buy gumdrops, then he is going grocery shopping for dinner. The correct option is option number 2 is the correct option. If Brain is not going to buy gumdrops, then he is going grocery shopping for dinner. Option 2 is the correct one. Look at the following conditionals. If Jennifer does not need a basin, then she is not going to take music lessons. If Jennifer is going to take music lessons, then she needs a basin. Is the second conditional the converse, inverse, or contrapositive of the first conditional? So, which is the correct option? The correct option is that is the contrapositive, right? Look at the following conditional. If Dakota is going to eat chestnuts, then it is not Saturday. If Dakota is not going to eat chestnuts, then it is Saturday, which is the correct option. Is the second conditional the inverse, contrapositive, or converse of the first one? That is the inverse of the first one. That is the inverse of the first one. Look at the following conditionals. If dog is playing old maid, then it is not recess. If dog is not playing old maid, then it is recess. Is the second conditional the contrapositive, converse, or inverse of the first conditional, which is the correct option? The correct option is inverse, it is, right? The correct option is inverse. Okay, we are done with the lesson. Let's just start with the next lesson. The next lesson is biconditionals. Let's just see what are the biconditionals. Is the following condition is the following statement a biconditional? The statement is Sadie smiles if and only if she sees clowns perform. Basically, you have two conditions here, right? Like if Sadie smiles, the reason is then she sees clowns perform, right? And if she sees like clowns perform, then she smiles. Both the you have both the sides are conditions here, right? So they are the biconditionals, right? The second one is if the following statement is the following statement a biconditional? If writing class is next, then Harold is excited. This is if and then statement, right? So this is not the biconditional. For the biconditional, a biconditional says that both a conditional and its converse are true. This is only a conditional, not a biconditional, right? Or the next one is look at the is the following statement a biconditional? Mickey is ordering a pizza if and only if it has red papers, right? So yes, this is a biconditional because here you have two statements, right? The first one is if Mickey is ordering a pizza, then it has the red papers, right? And the other one is if the pizza has red papers, then Mickey is ordering it. So yes, this is a biconditional. Let's just start with the test questions. Is the following statement a biconditional? Kathleen is playing a guitar if and only if Brace is playing a snare drum. So which is the correct option? The correct option is yes, it is a biconditional, right? How? Because if the Kathleen is playing guitar, that means Brace is playing a snare drum, right? And if Brace is playing a snare drum, that means Kathleen is playing a guitar. So yes, it is a biconditional. The correct option is yes, this is a biconditional. Is the following statement a biconditional? If Cora is going to candy shop, then she is going to buy necklaces. Is this a biconditional? The correct option is no. That is just a conditional, not the biconditional, right? If Cora is going to candy shop and then she is going to buy candy necklaces. So no, that is just a conditional, not the biconditional. The correct option is no. So yes, I answered no. The given statement is only a conditional. So yeah, I also answered no. That is a biconditional. Okay, the next one if is the following statement a biconditional? If Alice is tired, then she is going to take a nap. Which is the correct option? The correct option is no, that is just a conditional, right? This isn't the biconditional, that is just a conditional. Is the following if the is the following statement a biconditional? Mickey is ordering a pizza if and only if it has red papers. So which is the correct option? The correct option is yes, that is a biconditional, right? If Mickey is ordering the pizza, it has red papers, right? And it if pizza has the red papers, Mickey is going to order, right? That means the correct option is yes, that is a biconditional. The correct option is yes. Is the following statement a biconditional? Christopher wants to film from the action section if and only if he is at the video store. So, which is the correct option? Which is the correct option? The correct option is yes. Because if Christopher wants to film from the action section, then he is at the video store, right? And the other condition is if he is at the video store, then Christopher fill in the action section, right? The correct option is yes, that is a biconditional. So the basic thing is if you have if and only if, that means that is the biconditional. And if you have if and then, that means that is just the conditional, right? Okay, let's just start with the next lesson. The next lesson is truth tables. Okay, complete the truth table, right? Okay, so you are given a truth table, you have to complete the table. Let's just understand what are the truth tables, how do we make them, right? You are given three of the columns. The fourth column has some of the missing values. Let's just see how do we complete them, right? Okay, so just understand the table first. You have here given P and Q, right? You have, when you are given two of the values P and Q, you have four options. They are either both of them are true or both of them are false. First, P is true, Q is false, and P is false, Q is true, right? Then you are given P or Q, that is for or, right? Or is the condition if one of them is true, the answer is true, right? You can see here. Both of them true, true. First one is true, the answer is true. Second one is true, answer is true. Both of them false, answer is false. Then this one, this sign is the negation. Negation means if it is true, negate if it after the negation it is false. So this is true, the negation is false. This is true, the negation is false. True, the negation is false. Here you have false, the negation is true. So negation means you have to go opposite, right? So whenever you have this one, this represents or. If one of them, if P and Q, one of the value is true, the answer is true. And this one is for the and. Until if both of them is true, the answer is true. Right? Let's just start with the test questions. Okay, let's just understand the table first, right? You are given R and S, then negation of the R. Like R, true, negation is false. True, negation is false. False, negation is true. False, negation is true. Then you did or of these two values, S and negative R, right? Or means if one of them is true, the answer is true. This is true, the answer is true. Both of them are false, the answer is false. Both of them are true, answer is true. The second one is true, the answer is true. Now you have the this column, the and of this column and this column, right? True, true, the answer is true. False, true, the answer is true. If one of them is true, the answer is true. So the correct option is option number one, true and true. Got it? Basically, you have to or between the values of this column and this column. We know that if you have to apply the or condition, if one of the value is true, the answer is true. Got it? So the correct option is option number one. True, true is the correct option. The missing values are true and true. Okay, complete the truth table, right? Okay, now here you have and, right? S and Q, and then you have R, like for between this column and this column, you have to do or, right? Okay, or means if one of the value is true, that is true. Just look for this one. False, true. Here you have true. Now look for this one. False, false. The answer is false because both the values are false, right? So the correct option is the second one, true and false, right? The second one is the correct option. Okay, complete the truth table, right? Okay, just look at this one, right? Q and P, you have the column here, and you have R. But you have to do between these columns, you have to do this one, or, right? Okay, true, true, that is true. False, true, that is true because one of them is true, right? So the correct option is true and true. The second one is the correct option. Got it? The correct option is second one. Okay, the next one is complete the truth table. Okay, so that is and between the negation of S and R, right? So when you are looking at the and condition, it is true if both the conditions are true, right? So true and true, this is true. False and false, that is false. False and true, that is false. The and is true if both the condition is true, right? The correct option is true, false, false. Option number one is the correct option. Got it? The correct option is option number one. Complete the truth table, right? So that is the negation of P or Q. Here is P or Q, right? Negation means if it is positive, sorry, if it is true, the answer is false. True, false. True, false. False, true. Just negate. Not of true is false. Not of false is true. So the correct option is option number one, that is false, false, and true. Option number one is the correct option. Complete the truth table, right? That is and between P and not of Q. Here is P and here is not of Q. True, false, false. True, false, false. False, true, false. So both the values are false and false. The correct option is false and false, right? Okay, you can complete the lesson by yourself later today. Let me just move on to next lesson. And the next lesson is, okay, the next one is truth values. If R is true and S is true, what is the truth value of R and S? That is related to the truth tables, right? This is and, right? And means both of them have to be true. If this is true, this is true. The answer of this condition is true, right? So you can see here true, true. The third column is also true, right? If R is true and S is true, so R is true and S is true, so R and S is also true, right? The second one is if Q is false, what is the truth value of Q or Q? That is for or, right? So Q or Q is false because Q is false. So Q or Q is also false. The correct option is false. Let's just start with the test questions. If Q is false and R is true, what is the truth value of the Q and negation of R? Okay, Q is false, right? But R is true. Here you have negation of R. Negation of R is false. So the first one is false and the second one is false. So answer is also false, right? Both of them is false. The answer is false. So the correct option is false. Okay, if Q is false and R is true, what is the truth value of Q or R? This is the sign of or, right? So Q is false, R is true, right? So when we have to apply, look for the or. If one of them is true, the answer is true. So the second one is true. That means it is true, right? The correct option is true. If R is true and S is true, what is the truth value of R and S? So when you have to apply the and, if both of them is true, the answer is true, right? So you can, the question you are given, R is true and S is true, right? So R and S is also true. The correct option is true. If S is false, what is the truth value of negation of S? So when S is false, right, the negation of S is true, right? The correct option is True. If Q is false, what is the truth value of Q or Q? Which is the correct option? Q is false, so Q or Q is also false because both of them are false, so answer is also false, right? If P is true and Q is false, what is the truth value of P and Q? When you're looking at the AND condition, both of them must be true. So one of them is false. The answer is false. If R is false, what is the truth value of not of R? The correct option is negation of R is not of R is also not of R is true. If Q is true, what is the truth value of not of Q? Not of Q is false, then the correct option is false. If Q is false and P is false and Q is false, what is the truth value of P or Q? The correct option is both of them are false, so the P or Q is also false. If S is false, what is the truth value of S and S? If S is false, so S and S is also false. The correct option is false. Okay, we are done with the lesson, and also I think we are done with the chapter. Yes, we're working on the chapter logic. The lessons we have covered today are converse, inverse, and contrapositives, biconditionals, truth values, and truth table. Truth tables and truth values, right? So please make sure before the next session you can complete all the practice questions for the lessons we did today. That is your homework until next session, right? So if you need more help with any of the lesson, you can contact any tutor on the Skype. They are available from Monday to Friday, 5 to 9. Or either you can join me in the interactive session that would be daily from 4 to 5 and from 9 to 10, right? So if you have any question related to the lesson we have just finished, you can ask. I'm here to answer all your questions and confusions if you have any. No questions? Okay, then that's all for today. See you in the next session. Bye everyone.